Hello everyone, this is Justin, an application specialist at Roctek International. Today we'll be going over how to take off a road in RoadEx. To get started, we'll head over to File, Open Drawing, and we'll find our drawing file and select Open. From here, we have the zoom in, the zoom out, the zoom to area, which allows us to left click and drag our mouse to zoom to a specific cross section. And we can continue zooming in as much as we need. Our zoom to last area, which will zoom us to the last, and our zoom off, which will zoom all the way out. Once you are situated on your first cross section, it's time to begin. Once we're zoomed in on the correct cross section, to get started, we hit the Input Cross Section icon. We select English, give it a job and name, select OK, and we answer if there is strata or not present on this job. We'll click Yes here, and we'll define our strata layers. To start, we have topsoil, some clay, and rock. We already have topsoil listed, so we'll do clay, we'll do the ton conversion, the expansion, and the compaction. And then we'll define whether or not it can be used as fill on site. Select OK. Select OK. And then we'll define our first cross section. Station prefix is 20. And expansion and compaction will be overridden by the values we've entered for the strata layers. Select Done, and select OK. From here, we'll follow the directions along the help prompt. To get started, we'll hold down the right click button to zoom into the origin, and let go to select it. We'll do the same for the endpoint on the positive end, and we'll type that distance. Next, we'll select the vertical distance. And last, we'll select the datum, which is 532. Next, we'll need to actually trace our cross section. To do this, we can do simple left clicks along the existing, or left click and hold and drag. For straightaways, the left click tends to be faster. For curves, the left click and drag. Once we finish the existing, we'll then be prompted to enter our strata layers. Finish on the existing, and you'll notice that we're now entering the top of the clay layer. From here, the next layer will be rock. Select OK. Enter the top of the rock layer. Select OK. And last but not least, we'll define how far we know the rock will go. If we know it's a certain amount, we can type that in. We can trace it if there's a border listed, and otherwise we can click None to extend the rock to the very bottom of the cross section. Select OK, and now we just trace the proposed elevations. You'll notice as we're drawing this, it's showing us what we are cutting into and where. This information will be present on the report. Select OK. And now we can move to the next cross section. To move on to the next station, we'll select Input Cross Section. We'll type out the interval, which is 200 feet here, which will autofill the station ID. We'll then choose whether or not we'll be staying on the current drawing, which we are. And last but not least, we'll choose whether or not we want to use the same axis or enter new ones. For this particular drawing, we will be entering new ones, and this is often the case when moving to a new drawing. However, most cross sections will allow you to use the last ones entered. Select OK, and again, follow the directions along the help prompt. I'm going to go ahead and finish out the rest of the cross sections located on this drawing. Go ahead and take a moment to pause the video and finish up the drawings on your sheet as well. Now that we know how to handle normal stations, it's time to go more in depth. In order to handle phasing, you will input what type of phasing you'll be using from the road parameters screen. That's the box that first appears when you enter your first cross section. If you decide later that you need to do custom phasings, you can reach that by going to Edit and Edit Road Parameters. From here, you'll be presented with the same box, and you can choose 2 phases along the center line or even 2-phase custom. Select OK and select Done. From here, you'll input the cross section normally. Once you finish entering the proposed elevations, you'll be prompted with the phase width selection box. If you're doing normal left or right halves, simply select those. If you are, however, using a custom width, select Custom, select OK, choose the left X point, and then the right X point, and then do the same thing for the second custom phase. The left X point will start here and end at the end. We will revisit the phasing again in the report section. Other things you should know are how to edit and delete stations. In order to do that, head over to Edit and Edit/Delete. If you wish to edit a station, simply select it and select Edit. And if you'd like to delete it, simply select it and select Delete. Select OK. In order to reinsert a new station in the correct order, simply select Input Cross Section and select Insert a Station. From here, enter the station ID before which it will be inserted. This is our number 3. This is our new number 4 after deleting, so we'll want to enter it before number 4. Select OK, and follow the prompts as normal. Select OK, and finish drawing the cross section. If you need to make any last minute edits to your strata layers before you run the reports, now is the time to do so by heading over to Edit and Edit Strata Layers. Remember again that you can select a strata layer, select Edit, and change the ton conversion, the expansion, compaction, or the option to use as native fill. We'll select OK and calculate all work regions cut and fill quantities. From here, you can do a standard full report, which will cover all stations and all phases, or you can do certain stations, or you can even do it by certain phases. For each of these reports, you can add an on-the-fly strip. Let's do phase 1 with a strip of 6 inches and select OK. From here, you'll see summary information located along the top, with items such as total stations, total cut and fill, bank quantities, export and import required. It will list off which strata layer are suitable for fill and let you know which phase. Coming down, we'll go over the cut and fill quantities for each station, and then the strip quantities for each station. Last but not least, if we scroll down a little bit further, we'll get the strata volumes for each station along with their cumulative totals. And we'll list this out for each strata layer entered. This concludes our tutorial on the RoadEx. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to purchase a copy, please give us a call at 800-826-7763.